Yo, what's up, everyone? It is The Beast, and welcome back to The Beast On. What is The Beast On today? The Beast On college recruiting, specifically football, but all sports, is a bunch of crap. It's a bunch of BS. It's all a bunch of hogwash. Now, this is a two-part video. First part specifically is for the greater college athletics loving people all across the world. And then the second part is for my Canes brethren and sistren following specifically to you. But I don't want to just focus everything down here on the you. I want this to be for everybody out there in college football land. So here we go. I don't want to poo-poo recruiting. Recruiting for any entity is important, whether it's drafting in the NFL or the NBA, whether it's recruiting for college football, whether it's recruiting candidates to work at your business, right, or to run your business. Selecting people to work for you or to be the people that are the power brokers in your industry is vitally important to the performance of your industry. So recruiting by nature is very important. You need to have talent in any industry to succeed. So I don't want to say that recruiting in college football or college basketball, what have you, is not important. It is to the lifeblood of that sport, of that team. But let's dig a little deeper, okay? A little while ago, I used to be a regular on a highly rated morning show down here in South Florida. And my co-host, former running back for the Minnesota Vikings and Cleveland Browns, Leroy Horde, also a big-time recruit out of Louisiana for Michigan. He's always said about recruiting, if the GMs in the NFL can't get it right for the NFL draft, where they're spending all sorts of money to break down film to figure out who should be their first round draft pick, right? If there's going to be the ultimate busts of the world, aka Ryan Leaf and a bunch of others, how are college coaches going to do it with a bunch of 16, 17, and 18-year-olds whose bodies are going to change, whose mindsets are going to change, who are certainly not fully developed adults yet? How can college coaches do it any better? And the answer is they can't. This is all a freaking crapshoot. And it makes me freaking crazy that on a day like today, and if I don't know when you're watching, but today is early National Signing Day, which is why I'm making this video today. But you may be watching 7 years in the future. It still holds true. We make a huge deal today. Oh, I got this guy. This guy flipped, and he went over there, and he did the hat trick, and he had this hat, and he flipped it, and he threw it for that hat, and he took off this shirt, and he had a different shirt. It's all a bunch of drama and crap, and we have no freaking clue. How many of you watching this video have consistently been to a high school football game watching several recruits that your school has signed? Very few of you. Very few of you. You know what we do? We watch the highlights. We got a huddle. We click on the links on Rivals. Is that still a thing? I don't even know who's that. I don't think Scouts have it. I don't know. Just all the websites. They get the highlights. You click on it. Yeah. Guess what? Every freaking kid looks great in their highlight reel. If I was to put a highlight reel out, even though I'm short and fat and bald and pudgy and not athletic, if I made a highlight reel of me doing something, you're damn straight I would edit it so I'd look damn good. I'd make myself look like the freaking best of the best, despite the fact that I have very little of the little. So, we've all seen the huddle highlights, and great, everyone looks good. Oh yeah, we got that guy. Did you see his 3-step drop? Oh man, they threw a laser beam. Man, look at that running back. Did you see? The vision on that guy. Unbelievable. Oh, that linebacker. Oh my gosh. Going side to side on the field. Look at his vision. Look at he made that tackle. Oh my God. We have no idea, okay? No idea. And most of the talking heads on TV, they don't know anything more than you. You think the lemmings of the world are out there at every high school game? No! They watch the same film clips you do. And they're getting their stuff from college assistants or high school coaches. anyone that's going to prop up anyone, or, maybe it's an opposing team, and they're going to talk down, oh, that guy, he sucks. He's 40 times low. It's all a bunch of crap. You know why? Because we have no idea what is going to happen to these 16, 17, and 18-year-olds. I mean, there's a bunch of guys out there that are the most amazing athletes in the world, but they're a knucklehead. Absolute knucklehead, and they're gonna just not be able to make it in college, right? We've seen so many examples of that. Just the guy that just can't get right upstairs, up here, and then there's the guy that's great up here, right? That can just know what's gonna happen before it happens, but he's a 1.5-star, 2-star prospect because his athletic ability, his 40 time isn't great. Oh, geez, wonderful. I mean, it's such a load of crap. I can't even begin to tell you. And today we're going to be watching ESPN and ESPNU, and they're going to have rankings, and Clemson's going to be up here, and this team's going to be down here, and we have no idea. We literally don't. And a bunch of you, listen, I'm going to guess that Clemson and Alabama and Ohio State and LSU do pretty well in a signing day. They're the hot teams right now, the Oklahomas of the world. And then there's going to be a bunch of you that are like my Canes brethren that are just in I don't know, I think we did good. Oh, man, we should have gotten that guy. I can't believe he flipped to Nebraska, blah, blah, blah. That's what you're going to be like, and you're driving yourself crazy because you have no idea. And you're not going to know for at least a year or two whether it was a good haul or not. You just have to kind of trust the talent evaluators at your school. But the amount of hype and nonsense we make over this day is just stupid. We're getting all worked up. We're getting lathered. There's 60-year-old men that haven't trimmed their ear hair or nose hair in years getting so excited over a 17-year-old. I didn't mean it that way, right? We know that, it didn't. Okay. So let's just say this. If you're a recruitnik and you've studied everything, you think you're in, man. You think you know people, you know the coaches, you've been around town, you go to the high school games, and you think it was a good haul for your team. Good for you. But for the rest of us, just wait and see. Don't watch the tele. I don't know why I went British there. Don't listen to the radio. Well, don't watch YouTube videos because we know what we're saying. But just tune it all out, man. You have no idea. These kids haven't been to one college practice yet. They haven't been on camp. They haven't been away from mommy and daddy. They haven't been outside their house. A lot of them have never been on an airplane. The only time they've been on an airplane was for their recruiting trip. They haven't lived life. And you're going to go apoplectic about what some 17 or 18-year-old just decided to do. Just relax. Take some doggy downers, man. Today is a day where you look at the names and you're like, okay, I'll follow those dudes on Twitter. I know the names and I look forward to seeing what they do. But if you're an average Joe fan and you're having sweeping opinions on your class hall today, get the bleep out of here. Do something better with your life. Go get a ice cream cone and lick that puppy as hard as you can because you need something better to do. All right? Please, I urge you. There's just way too much made over this day and the other signing days and all the whole recruiting process. And I understand it's a cottage industry and websites exist based on subscriptions, based on all this crap, but no one knows anything. Even the coaches don't know anything. And that'll bring me to the U. Now, for those of you that aren't fans of the U, it's okay. You don't have to be fans of the U. I'm just using some specific examples from the U to illustrate how much we don't know about signing day. And I understand these are, for Canes fans, you've heard this all before, that Ed Reed was a nothing prospect. His only other offer was Tulane, and he ended up being arguably the best safety in the history of football. You've heard about Santana Moss, who his only way to get to the University of Miami was on a track scholarship. You heard about this kid, Joaquin Gonzalez, who ended up being an amazing anchor of a national championship offensive line that never let their quarterback get sacked, who basically was recruited because he was smart and could probably bring up the GPA. I can go further back, man. I remember back in the 90s, there was this dude, Cameron Binion. He was going to come into the U and just dominate. And he ended up being rather smart and helped bring up the team's GPA, but didn't do anything on the field. On the other hand, I mean, Dan Morgan comes in as a fullback and ends up being one of the best linebackers to ever come to the University of Miami, right? Here's a specific story. And this is what I mean about, like, we just don't know. So I'm not going to name names, and I'm not going to tell you when or who or why or how. But let's just say there was a year when Miami was pulling in a huge class, big class. And I said to myself, all right, listen, I was full blown, this was back, I was on the Canes broadcast, on the sidelines. I was deep into this thing, man. I had to do my job. So I went with a buddy that is very into the high school football scene and knowledgeable and knows every coach and every player, and that's their job and what have you. And we went out to one of the biggest high school games of the year. And I got a sideline, and I'm on the sideline, and it's a high school game, man. I'm walking around coaches and players and whatever. And I'm there. There's a bunch of players that are being scouted by a million different coaches that are in the stands. I mean, like, everyone was in the stands. But I'm there. I want to check out this one kid who was a receiver, because he's the all 5-star everything receiver. He's amazing, right? This kid's he's gonna win awards that Jerry Rice never won. And so I'm watching this kid. And granted, I never played football as a kid. Granted, at the time, I'd been around it enough in serving as a sideline reporter at the University of Miami and being in enough coaches' meetings and watching film and stuff that I had a little bit of a clue of what to look for and what kind of to keep my eyes on. But it's not like I'm coming at this from firsthand knowledge of how to play the wide receiver position. I mean, I'm short. It's not even like short and fast, yeah. Anyways, so I'm out there and I'm watching, and I just have my eyes on this receiver. Because I just this guy is the all everything receiver that year. This guy is he's gonna change the way we think of receivers. And I watch him on every play. And I notice that if it's a pass play where it looks like the ball's gonna go to him, this kid's unbelievable. He's getting off the line, he's getting past the DB, he's fighting to get open, this kid's making catches. But if it's a run play where he has to block, if it's a play where the ball's going to the other side, if he knows that he's probably not getting the ball in that play, I'm just watching him loaf. He's not doing anything. He's not fooling anybody. And I'm saying to myself, I'm like, that's not how it's supposed to happen. Like, if you're the star, if you're the cream of the crop, like, you got to be all in, right? Like, if you're not getting the ball in a play and you know that, aren't you supposed to still sell the rest of the play so that, and I remember talking to my friend who I was with, and I remember pointing this out, I'm like, this kid, watch this, watch, if he's not getting the ball, this kid is loafing, he's looking in the stands, he's not even paying attention. Friend agreed with me. Kid ends up signing with the U, big party, woo, yay! His career turned out to be crap. Just absolute crap. And I could have told you then that it was crap. Because it was the biggest stage for a high school game for this kid to play on, right? It might have been a national TV game. The stands were full. Every college scout was there, right? Every coach, every big name you could possibly want was there. And they're Pac-Man. What? Huh? Did I say that? Yes. And if he wasn't going to rise to the occasion on that stage, what would make you think that he would do it on the next level? And he didn't. And that's why this is all a sham. It's why it is. Because we falsely put stars in front of kids. There's some kid out there right now who's like a 2-star prospect because they don't play in a state where high school football is amazing. Their level of competition isn't great. And so the scouts poo-poo that. But that kid has heart, and that kid has a head on his shoulders. And he knows he's got to work his ass off to make it at a D1 school. And that kid is going to end up being something. Meanwhile, there's some other 5-star kid in Florida, Texas, California, you name it, who's been just coddled his whole life. Been told he's the best thing since sliced bread his entire life. He's never had to work for anything. He's naturally a gifted athlete. But other than that, other than being born with the right genetics, he doesn't work at it. Some kid out there right now is signing right now that everyone thinks is God's gift to college football. And he doesn't know what work is. He thinks he knows what work is. He's worked out. He's gone through two-a-days at his high school. But he doesn't know what work is. He doesn't know what the grind is. And he's going to get to college. And it's going to internally combust for him. And he was a 5-star athlete. It's going to happen. It's going to happen on several campuses around the country. Trust me. Then there's that 2-star kid that no one thought would do anything. Some fan right now is saying that kid's name and bleep him. Why the bleep do we need that? What a waste of bleeping time. And that kid's going to be up for awards in 4 years. That's how this ish goes. We have no idea. So Canes fans, I'm watching you online today and every day, just ripping everything about this, that, and this kid went over here, and I can't believe we didn't get this kid, but we did get this kid, and it doesn't freaking matter. None of it matters today. What you need to know is you got some kids with the brain on their head, with a little bit of heart, that are willing to come in and work their ass off. More importantly, though, do you have the right coaches to develop the players? Do you have the full complement of staff to develop the players? Do you have the full and complete and utter backing of the university president and board of trustees to have every single resource available to develop those kids? That's a question that you need to be asking. A lot of schools put up a facade, like the University of Miami. We'll build an indoor practice facility. We'll show you that we're doing this and that and blah, blah, blah. But, I mean, it's not enough. They showed a team meeting, a coaches meeting at Alabama the other day. There wasn't enough room in their huge meeting room for all of their staffers. There wasn't enough room. That's how you know a program's dedicated to football. Let's talk about one other thing. Slight edit there. The dog was barking. But let's talk about one other thing. Let's just accept this as a truth. Every college program in one aspect or another, in one sport or another, is cheating. Now, there's like definitive cheating whereas we're passing bags of money around, and then there's like cheating where we'll just let our kids come in and take online courses and not really go to class. Some of it's kind of legal, some of it's not, but it's cheating. It's trying to get an advantage, right? So let's be honest about today as far as recruiting goes. There are people down here representing schools giving out bags of money. There are people out there promising cars to recruits, houses to mom or dad, jobs to mom or dad, placement in private schools to brothers. Let me give you an example. I'm not going to name names. A while ago, guy that I don't even know if he's still in the NFL, but had a very successful NFL career. Maybe in his last years or not. I can't keep up with this stuff. South Florida recruit, big time. Big time recruit. As big as it gets. Miami recruit all the way. Through and through. I interviewed him myself. several times. Had him on the air several times. This kid could not be more orange and green. This kid it was flowing through him. This was old school Miami Hurricane. And come signing day, what? The flip to an SEC school. That's odd. Man, thought I knew the kid pretty well. Thought I'd gotten to know him, talked to people around. What? Huh? What just happened? Oh, wait. House? Got a house? Job? Brother placed in private school? Huh. Guess it was an offer you couldn't afford to turn down, literally. That was a real thing. That really happened. That goes on every day in the world of recruiting. Some universities take part in it more than others. Matter of fact, I'm going to probably guess one of the reasons why you may not, or why some guys may have flipped from the University of Miami today, I'm not accusing anyone, I'm just guessing, hypothetically, is because of some offer they couldn't refuse. I honestly, if you're fans of another program, you're going to roll your eyes at me or throw things at your phone or whatever you're watching this on, but I don't think the University of Miami plays those games, or at least if they do, not very well, because they probably would be doing better in recruiting if they did, and there'd be more wins over the last 15 years if they did. But let's just be honest here. The game is, we can talk about facilities and resources and whatever on an administrative and bigger level, but to be honest with you, the even playing field is separated at another part, which is what we're handing out to recruits to encourage them to come to our school for the free education that they're getting paid for, that they want to get paid for, but already getting paid for. Huh? What? I mean, just remember the Laramie Tunsil press conference. Was it you in the gas mask? Yup. Did you take all the money? Yup. Good luck, Lane Kiffin. It'll only be a matter of time before they come and knocking at Ole Miss again. Not because of, I'm not picking on Lane Kiffin or Ole Miss. It's just, that's the way it's done. And to be honest with you, Philip Fulmer ruined it for everybody because he ratted out Alabama back in the day, and then he got blackballed, and the SEC was in an uproar because how dare you tell on each other? Everyone knows they're cheating, but you don't tell on each other. It's like what happened to the SEC stays in the SEC. So no one's going to break that code again. But I don't care how good your coaching staff is and how much money you're pouring into your program and facilities and support staff and indoor facilities. It's the accounting in some ledger somewhere that we don't ever get to see or hear about. That's what's making the difference in college football, college basketball, and every other sport possible for teams to get better. It's as shady as that, and I've seen it myself. Seen it myself. So let's not kid ourselves and feel like this is just about, man, our assistant coach out-recruited that assistant coach, because it's not being played on that even playing field. It's not. If someone's being named a recruiter of the year, they got assets. Just letting you know. And it's not the assets that come with their paycheck and the regular job requirements. All right, so that'll do it for the rant. I was gonna go on more. I was gonna start going off on University of Miami and the amount of social media pictures and videos and memes and GIFs, and everyone's wearing chains and gold and swag jackets, and we're all hyping it up today. And yet we just lost to FIU and Duke, and going to Shreveport, and the program's at a low point. I was gonna do a whole rant on that, but I'll be honest with you, others are doing that, so I'll let them do that. Hopefully I just gave you a bit of reality into the world of college recruiting and how today you know what? It's been hyped up. If I were you, go find that ice cream cone and take a lick. Oh, don't leave yet. Subscribe to the channel. Please do. Once I get up to 1,000 subscribers, I'm giving away gift cards. I'm sending them out to you. Follow me on social media at Miami Radio Beast. Hit the little bell down there so that you get notified when a new video comes up. And don't forget to subscribe to the Patreon page, patreon.com/Brian the Beast London. Yeah. Now that'll do it for everyone here in my upstairs hallway. I am the Beast. I'll see you when I see you. Peace.